Hey guys, I've had my Nexus 7 2013 for a little over 2 weeks now, so I thought it was about time that I went ahead and made my full review for it. So yeah, here it is. So I wanted to start off with the look and feel, and the design here is very similar to the original Nexus 7. You've still got these bezels all the way around the tablet. You'll quickly find it's the only place to actually rest your fingers when you don't want to touch the display. They have also made them thinner. It easily fits in one hand, you can see that no problem. They have made it lighter, it's 290 grams compared to 340, and 8.6 millimeters thick compared to 10.45. So Google has done a really good job making a thinner and lighter tablet. They've also changed the material on the back. That imitation leather we had on the original is gone. It's now replaced by a soft touch plastic, and it just feels much better in the hand. The build quality has been greatly improved from the original, and the device as a whole just feels a hell of a lot more premium than the original Nexus 7. So for me, the biggest upgrade on this tablet has got to be the display. It really is gorgeous. It comes in at 7 inches. It's an IPS display. It has a resolution of 1920 by 1200. A pixel density of 323, a brightness level of 583, so it's great for outdoor viewing, and a contrast ratio of 1273. That is the highest contrast ratio of any screen to date. So if we check out some text here, you can see it's super sharp. You're not going to get any pixelation or anything like that. The text is very vivid. It all just pops off the screen. It even looks better than if it was printed on a magazine. It looks that good. Using apps like Google Currents is a lot more enjoyable on this display, and I've got to say I use it a hell of a lot more than I used to. You can also obviously check out the Google Play magazines, and again you can see the contrast ratio really taking effect here. Pictures look excellent. You can zoom all the way into the text and you're not going to get any pixelation. Magazines really do stand out on this display, and it really is a joy to read on. So I couldn't resist showing you guys some video just because this screen's so good. YouTube looks good on this screen, but if you've got some 1080p content, it just looks gorgeous. I'm showing you 1080p content right now. The display is super sharp, the color depth is great, and most importantly, the colors are accurate. They're not too washed out, they're not too vivid. It all looks fantastic, and watching videos on this is just an absolute joy. So under the hood, we've got a Snapdragon S4 Pro, which is a quad-core CPU clocked at 1.5 GHz. That's accompanied by a quad-core Adreno 320 GPU and 2 GB of DDR3 RAM. So what all these specs mean in terms of real-world performance is a very fast and snappy device. It's got Android 4.3 under the hood, and you can see here it just isn't lagging at all. It opens apps with absolute ease, and the transitions are a smooth 60 frames per second. It isn't dropping anything here, and it just feels fantastic to use. So moving on to the web browser performance, and you can see here I am using the default browser, which is Google Chrome. Now the performance is decent. There's nothing amazing or fantastic. It still lags now and then. You can see it drops a few frames when I pinch to zoom or when I scroll around really fast. That being said, this is the best performance I've seen from Google Chrome on a Nexus device, although I still suggest you install something like Dolphin from the Google Play Store, because you will get faster and smoother performance out of that over Google Chrome. The Nexus 7 gaming performance is also excellent. It really excels in this area as well. I mentioned earlier it had the quad-core Adreno 320 GPU, and that allows you to play the most intense games at a high resolution and still keep a high and consistent frame rate. I'm playing Real Racing 3 here at the most intense graphics settings, and it's still above 30. You can see here in Nova 3 we've got all the effects running, that cool lens flare. It's a great game to play. It looks fantastic and it plays very smoothly and consistently. So really good performance here from the Nexus 7 2013. So moving on to some benchmarks. I know everyone loves a benchmark, so here we go. Don't forget, take them with a pinch of salt. They are just numbers at the end of the day. So you can see here we've scored pretty decently, just below the Sony Xperia Z. Don't forget that is a phone that's probably £200 more expensive. If we check out Geekbench here, we scored a respectable 2,693, and comparing that, you can see it's a pretty decent score. It comes above the Nexus 10 and Nexus 4. In terms of the price and storage options, you've got 16 or 32 GB Wi-Fi only models. The Wi-Fi 16 GB comes in at £200. The 32 GB Wi-Fi comes in at £239. I think that's a pretty decent price for the hardware you're getting. There is also an LTE version available, but that's only for the USA right now, and you can see it's $349. I just want to quickly mention the stereo speakers. You can see the grills on either side. The stereo speakers are decent. They are still backwards facing, so you know they're not better than the Nexus 10. They're not that much louder than the original either, but they do have better quality. If you turn it all the way up, it does get a little bit tinny, and it does get a little bit vibratey as well through the device, so take that into account. The device has a 3950 mAh battery. That's actually smaller than the original Nexus 7, which came in with a battery of 4325 mAh. Google says the battery life should last about the same as the original, and I'd pretty much agree with that. It's going to last you 9 to 10 hours with about a day's use, so take that into account if that's not good enough for you. I haven't really mentioned the front or back facing cameras. The back camera is a new addition. It's a 5 megapixel shooter. It's a decent camera, but it's a tablet camera. It's going to be good enough for your random snaps, but that's about it. The front camera is good enough for hangouts, but again, it's nothing to go crazy about. That's pretty much it, guys. I've been really happy with this device. I think it's a great upgrade from the original. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Peace out.